Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
It's two guys, two things. This is the podcast of two middle-aged white guys talking that just have no sense of humor whatsoever.
Right so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually no reason why we should even have a podcast.
I mean, there's no reason.
Well, I think
there's not really many reasons for any podcast.
Well, why do people podcast, do you think? What is...
To entertain.
You think?
To talk about things, to seem smarter than they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I do it because my wife doesn't listen to me. So I just need to vent
somehow.
Something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, I get that.
This is like my therapy.
I do it because you asked me to.
Yeah.
So
with a gun. I use
No,
the
you
gun.
made me do it.
Yeah. It's underneath the table right
now. I don't
now.
want to do this.
I know.
All right.
And I appreciate it. But if you don't, I will kill your family.
Okay.
But this is the podcast where we take two semi-trending topics, discuss them each for 15 minutes, and then we shave each other's mustaches.
Yeah, I know mine's about ready because this is getting a little too much.
I need a haircut.
Yeah, it's time. Oh, so I'll take you to my barber.
No. My barber's not my wife.
Oh, no.
We made a deal. I said, you don't have to listen to the podcast if you cut my hair.
Oh, boy.
And she said, yes, please.
That's more on you. So, no, I'll take you to an actual barber if you're ready.
No, because they're all murderers.
I'm ready for a haircut. No, just that one.
Just the one? I don't think so.
Just that one. Mine doesn't use a straight razor unless, I want him to. But no. We're both ready for one. We're going.
Okay. So, and then if we do, we're going to make it a bit. It'll be posted on YouTube. It'll be hilarious.
I think he'd be in on one if we do it at the.
Would he let us?
I think he'd be into it.
Is he cool?
He is. I haven't asked him if we can do a bit in his shop yet.
You want to promote him really quick? Shout out?
Oh, it's a weird name.
Okay. Oof.
Hold on.
Clearly, you know him very well.
Hold on. It
is John Wayne Bobbitt. Okay, got it. That's
Barba Busson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Il Barba Busson.
Yeah, Barba Busson.
Wow, that is an awesome mustache that he has.
Yeah.
So this is in the Sacramento area?
Yep.
So, yeah, he came from Chicago.
Yep.
Wow, cool. So go check out Il Barba Busson.
Dominic is his name.
Dominic. Of course it is.
Yeah.
I think I saw him in the Mario movie.
Yeah, probably.
He probably gets that a lot.
I don't dare to say that.
Okay, well, I just did it on the podcast because I'm never going to meet him because I'm not going. Okay.
Yeah, you're going. We're going together.
No, but we did a shout out. They do good work?
Yes, of course.
Fantastic. How we decide who gets to tell their 15-minute story first is we have to make a bet. We do this bet before we start podcasting, and whoever wins that bet gets to go first.
Right.
So I made a bet.
Yeah, we made a bet this week.
We said, what's something going on that we can make a clear bet on? And we landed on this something going on with the sun.
Well, the eclipse. We're like, okay, this is
what?
the big news. Okay.
The what now?
So we'll talk about it with your bet, but we landed on the eclipse.
The eclipse.
And we said
the so-called eclipse. So
we trying to find a bet.
Yeah.
And
basically of when it was going to, when we thought it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, it's not going to happen. It's not real. There's no such thing as a solar. There's never been a solar eclipse.
Right.
That's just something news media tells you.
Well, no, never, but
it's never happened. Never.
Right. So Matt bet there won't be a solar eclipse.
That wasn't going to happen.
And so I very quickly jumped on that bet. And usually I try to go a little deeper with my bets to a little more specific so I can beat you. This one I didn't need to. I just said, then my bet is that there will be one because that's just scientifically
based on what? Based on
math and science.
What does that got to do with the sky?
Well, it's the rotation of the Earth around the sun versus the rotation of the moon around the Earth and lining up.
Wait, what does the Earth rotate around? The sun rotates around the Earth.
Okay,
doesn't it?
So the bet is, and you said there wasn't going to be an eclipse.
And there wasn't.
And there was an eclipse.
Come on.
Many videos of it.
I looked right at the sun.
Right.
During that day, I didn't see nothing.
Well,
I still can't see anything.
Well, we're in California.
Actually.
It was nice. So the shadow didn't cross.
It's a groundhog
California's
now?
path.
The shadow of the...
It was more like middle of the country to the upper.
It's like 6 more weeks till summer. Is that what you're going to tell me next?
All right. Well, there was an eclipse.
I don't... Okay, agree to disagree.
No.
Whatever. No. Look, I'm not going to be petty. If you want to go first, just say, hey, you can just ask, can I go first? And I'd say, fine. But you didn't win the bet.
But there was an eclipse.
I don't know. Maybe.
All right.
Everyone's
sending your pictures of the eclipse.
Whatever. That's doctored. It'll be doctored.
Well,
doesn't matter. You get to put 15 minutes. I'll put it right here on the clock.
All right.
Should be the sound of a doorbell. Okay, and then when you're done, You got to shave my mustache. Here we go.
Okay.
Go ahead. What do you got first?
All right. So we're going to talk about a student in Britain. So a British student was almost successfully responsible on a night out. He was he was almost there. He was almost there. So
when you say student,
yeah,
what do you mean?
Like college student.
Oh, college student.
College student. So he was out.
That's not a fourth grader.
No, it wasn't a fourth grader.
Like he was responsible. How would the fourth grader be responsible? They did bring their homework to school,
right? Yeah,
they almost brought it.
Almost did.
Half of it.
Oh, you were so close, so close.
I didn't do the word problem.
So the student, the student, he only requested to be called James. So, but
is he related to the royal family? So he doesn't want
maybe that's
give out more
maybe
information?
that's why. Yeah, it would make sense. He had a night out drinking.
Okay.
And was going home and was like, I'm not going to drive. So there's the responsible part.
Okay.
Almost responsible.
Instead, he went home on a double-decker bus.
No.
That would have been really cool.
It would have been nice. It's like, go call an Uber.
He commandeered.
This looks like my Uber. So, it's like, I didn't know they drive red buses now. That's cool.
That would be the coolest Uber.
Yeah.
A double-decker bus.
So he was.
Oh my god! I gotta stop, guys. I'm sorry, I gotta stop here. This isn't my stop. I know, but they're ringing the bell.
That would be like if you somehow buy one, right? And that's the Uber. You would get requested all the time.
You probably would actually.
Yeah, right. Because like some Uber drivers, they do up there. They have lights and music and bottles of water and candy.
Yeah.
Because they want that 5-star, which is so funny.
I'm getting an idea.
I've never driven an Uber. But obviously that 5-star is important.
You never.
No.
Driver of
an
an Uber.
You've been
Ubered around town.
Yeah.
And I was a driver for a little bit.
Yeah. Did you do anything extra?
Just like back rubs.
Clean your car? Was your car clean?
Massages and stuff.
Okay.
But I did. I got when I got it detailed on the inside.
Yeah, right. That's what.
And I remember the very first night I went out, someone said, "Wow, I've never been in a cleaner car."
Oh.
And they should see it. Like
they're like, now do it. Yeah, that would have a problem with that too. But obviously that 5-star rating is super important because you get, I guess, more requests because it's not that you get paid more. Like if I had lights and music and or sometimes you can connect your passenger's car to your CarPlay so they can play their own music, bottles of water, all that stuff. It's not like that ride costs more. So I guess you'd want to do a little something, but how much are you gonna really go? I don't know. They do it. So
the suggestion I had in my head, we were talking about the double-decker bus.
Yeah.
A cool thing here in Sacramento, I'm sure a lot of other cities, but they have that beer bike.
Oh, right.
Like that would be a cool little get picked up for the Uber as
just a beer Uber bike. Around like downtown.
Yeah, you pick them on the beer bike. Yeah, you got to pedal.
You got to go, buddy.
But you get beer.
Yeah, listen, you're not driving. You're good. Here's your drink. You
do the work for me.
You've been on the beer bike.
Yeah.
They're fun.
It's cool.
I've only gone once, but there was one time we were going up a hill and they had to do the engine a little bit.
Oh yeah, sure.
Which I'm like, that's cheating. But whatever.
All right, so this guy.
So he was drinking
James.
in Newcastle. Yeah, he only wanted to be called James. Was drinking in Newcastle, but he accidentally typed in an address in Norwich, his home. Like when he get home, he typed in an address in Norwich, which is a town 250 miles away. From Newcastle.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
So he lives in Newcastle.
He lives in Newcastle.
I thought he said he was drinking in Newcastle.
No, in Newcastle. He was drinking in Newcastle, where he lives.
I thought you okay.
Not Newcastle.
Do we know? Was it Newcastle that he was drinking too?
Oh, we don't know that.
Was he drinking in Newcastle in Newcastle?
I doubt it. He was probably drinking Boddingtons.
Okay, and then the next question is, does he actually live in a castle?
He doesn't. Newcastle. It doesn't say, but I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to guess.
An old castle?
Probably an old castle.
We've already established
there's no new castles.
He's part of the royal family.
Right. Well, you established that.
Yes. Okay. So James was drinking in Newcastle, Newcastle, and he lives in an old castle.
Right. And then so he typed in an address in Norwich, again, 250 miles away from Newcastle.
Got it.
So gets in the Uber. He's an engineering student, and he said he slept through most of the 5-hour trip.
Okay.
And was, quote, stunned when he realized he was hundreds of miles away from his campus.
Okay.
So he slept through most of this 5-hour trip.
Do we know how long the trip was supposed to take?
Yeah, well 250 miles, it feels like that's...
No, but I mean, if he typed in the right address.
Oh. No, it's in the same town.
So it should have been like a 15
minutes.
Instead, it was a 5-hour.
Yeah, 15 minutes. And he was, I guess, drunk enough. He slept through most of it.
Oh God.
So, and by the way, Mr. Uber driver, what are you doing? Like, okay, so...
He's thinking, cha-ching.
Yeah, well, so a 5-hour trip, woke up and was like, where are we? It was like, this is not good. He said, when I woke up, I literally thought it was a dream. Surely I hadn't done this. And he had. So the bill ended up being roughly $1,700.
Wow.
For this 5-hour trip. So we're in Sacramento.
Wow.
That's a little before LA. It's like from Sacramento to
Bakersfield.
A little past Bakersfield.
Okay, so somewhere in the Grapevine.
Yeah, a little past the Grapevine. Because like where Dan and Christina live, they don't know where they live. It's about 5 hours.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about.
How fast are you driving?
Regular speed.
90?
I don't know. I don't drive that fast.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
You have.
In my life, sure, but I don't regularly.
You do. I saw you.
I barely drive with you.
You do that in the drive-through.
90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Throw me the food. You missed it. Go around again.
Tire screeching.
Here we go. Throw me the food. And just,
yeah.
No. So
That's called fast food, baby.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like Sacramento to the Grapevine.
Sure.
A little past. So for one, I'm like thinking, how much did he drink where he's sleeping for 5 hours in a car? And so have you ever? You only drove Uber for a little bit,
right?
Any like drunk people?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay. Did they sleep or were they like rowdy drunks?
Oh man.
A little both.
Well, I'm not going to give out names or addresses,
right.
But I can find it if I look at my phone. I can give the address. But no, and this is what sucked too. Is like middle-aged guy,
right.
and
right.
wife,
right.
Drink too much. It's not even that late.
Yeah.
Because
they had like a day drinking. We're going out like
probably
like a happy hour type thing, and then but it ended up being
it was like probably like 9:30 at
right.
night.
So they started probably like at 4:30.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and just was blitz. Like he couldn't even open the door.
Oh right.
So his wife's trying to help him, and I'm like, I'll help.
I know, yeah. It's like, what do you do?
Don't puke in my car.
Yeah. Like, what's the responsibility of the driver at that point, right?
And so he's there, and he's just like, yeah. And like, I'm just like, oh my God.
You hear it coming.
And luckily, it wasn't a far ride home.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's just get home.
Please hold on.
And I get there, and then he can't walk out of the car.
Oh, God.
To get out. So I had to, like, help him out. And then there's steps to go up to his door. And I'm like, there's no way he can do this by himself. So I got to walk him up.
Did he give you 5 stars?
I don't think they even tipped me.
Oh, my God.
And it's like, part of the reason why I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do this.
Right.
And then, of course, then it was right before COVID. Then COVID hit. I'm like, I did some food deliveries for a while. And then I was like, I'm good.
Well, see, I always thought, like, I like driving. Actually, I'll be an Uber driver. But then I was like, maybe just like a DoorDash or something. Because I don't know if I want to deal with that. And like possibly getting good tips, like you're downtown at night. Because that's where, they're all coming out. They want Ubers. But then you got people drunk yelling at you, drunk thrown up in your car, like just like weird conversations, doing things in your. I was like, do I want to deal with like these people?
Well,
you know what I mean?
We did talk about your barber in the beginning, and I bring that up because I'm a person that has to feel like there should be some conversation.
Sure.
So I have a really awkward conversation as a driver. If it's too quiet, I'd be like, "So."
Yeah. Well, as a driver, don't
plans?
do it. No, as a driver, you say, "How you guys doing?"
I know.
Welcome in, and then
I become a taxi driver.
You gotta let them initiate, because then
I go, "You talking to me?"
Yeah. If you are a driver,
right,
and they're quiet, then you just be quiet.
I should have been more like Ryan Gosling's driver in that.
Oh, that'd be sick.
What movie was that? Was that
Driver?
Yeah.
So me and Jesse always talk about as a like on the barber chair. I let it kind of try to happen naturally, you know what I mean? Like, I'll be quiet, I'll ask a question here and there, and then, but if they start asking questions, I'm like, for one, I'm like, I'm not initiating, so shut it. But then I'll engage, right?
It just feels weird to be in that close of proximity with a person and like not talk.
Yeah. Right. And my barber's
avoiding eye contact.
My barber's pretty good about it because
because he loves a pizza pie.
No, he's not Italian.
Oh, okay.
But he
looks very Italian.
But I'm always I can usually get by with conversations with guys because he's got to talk about like sports or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's not like really who I am or what I really like to talk about. So like, but my barber's pretty good about like the music he's listening to and why and like movie, like, so I'm like, okay, cool. So I can have a little bit of a conversation. Then there's a little bit of a lull, and then back.
Well, see, I end up then giving away too much information.
Well,
like, I tell him how much I earned last year in my taxes. I mean, I just like everything. Like,
tell me how much you make. Yeah, your social.
I don't know. What else do you want to know?
Okay, so listen. So
my grandfather was in the war. He had therapy.
This is a 5-hour
bipolar.
Thanks.
Yeah. Are you a murderer?
Yes.
I just gotta get that question out of the way.
I always ask.
Okay.
So $1,700 Uber ride.
Yeah, that's great.
5 hours, but the driver surprisingly fine with the accident, and didn't end up charging James.
The error, not the car accident.
Well, no, not the car accident.
Okay.
The accident.
There was no car accident.
And didn't end up charging James for the trip.
What?
It's a 10-hour trip. 10 hours.
He didn't charge him at all?
He didn't charge him.
He should at least charge him the 15-minute ride it would have been.
And James says, in response, gave him a 5-star rating.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, James. So here's the thing.
You better tip him.
So the next. Did
he tip him?
Then talk about tip. But here's what I'm confused about, right? Because the next sentence says James then got on a train back to Newcastle, right? So, but here's the thing. I'm like, okay, but the driver had to go fucking back to Newcastle.
Well, maybe the driver decided, I'm here, I might as well work here.
Or spend the night or something, work around a little bit. Because that's like, so it says James took a train back to Newcastle. And I was like, hey, if you're not going to charge me, man, can I just get back in? Like, what do you, like, why would you drive back without me if we're going to the same spot? That's a little weird. So now it goes back down to 4 stars. He didn't take me back to Newcastle. He was driving back already.
Well, we don't know if James even asked.
4 star. He probably didn't. He probably was so embarrassed.
Right.
He probably got out and was like, because I'm sure the driver's like, you're here. Here's your address that you told me to take. Okay. And so James probably just got out, and then driver sped off and was like, "Oh, I'm not in Newcastle." So that's
so what I'm thinking the driver probably said, "Well, now I'm in Norwich. I'm going to just drive around in Norwich for a little bit."
It depends how late though, because if he's coming from a bar, are there really going to be any?
Probably just spend the night and work the morning shift. Who knows?
So this maybe spent the night.
But what I want to say is that all James had to say was, "Oh my God, I don't recognize this place. Where am I at?" And then the driver was like, "Oh, you messed up. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Yeah.
I won't charge you."
Yeah.
So now it seems like you want to get a free ride somewhere.
Just say that.
Tell this guy.
Yeah, but it has to be this guy because I can't imagine any other driver.
You got to find this driver.
Yeah, it has to be this specific driver. So two other funny things. So James got on a train.
France? How did I end up in France?
Yeah.
I don't live in France.
You know how long
always wanted to go though.
5 hours can get you if you're like in Europe. So got on the train back to Newcastle because he again probably got out and was like, took a train back to Newcastle, but then was consequently fined for not buying a train ticket.
What? He just jumped on a train?
Well, in like passenger trains, you can get on. They don't check tickets when you get on. You can just get on and sit, and then they come around and ask for your ticket.
But why did he not buy a ticket?
He was drunk, dude.
After 5 hours of sleeping?
And he just woke up. Well, maybe he didn't have money. He's like, I don't know. But he got fined.
Do you think the train was an Uber train?
Yeah, it was an Uber train. But he got fined for not buying a train ticket, and then also missed his classes the next day.
Oh, okay.
Like poor James.
Oh no, poor James.
Yeah, it's his fault. Yeah. So the next thing is okay, cool. So the weird thing is Uber company policies does not have a set limit for how far an Uber can take you. Like you can just accept any Uber, but there is a time limit of 4 hours. So this driver knew he was already driving 5 hours and then 5 hours back and still took him. So even before he didn't charge him, he was already the nicest Uber driver of all time.
Right.
He had a limit of 4 hours. So unfortunately for this driver, Uber caps the number of hours UK drivers can be logged into the.
Oh, you hear that?
Yep. The Uber driver.
Your Uber is here.
So
Your Uber is here.
UK drivers can be logged into and accept trips at 10 hours, meaning the driver wasted half of that time for no money. So it's not only James didn't pay him, like Uber didn't pay him for half that ride because he had to drive back. So he did this almost for free. I don't know if he thought it was an adventure, like it'd be a funny story to tell.
Is there any more to that?
No, that's it. James got back the next day, missed his classes, and got fined for not buying a train ticket.
I'm just concerned now. Like, did the Uber driver was he like suicidal?
He's like, we're doing
like, this is it.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Who gives a shit?
No one knows if I ever come back, and no one will care.
Yeah, because I can't imagine. There's nice people out in the world, but I can't imagine this. So it feels like there's something had to be going on. Like, unless he's the funniest person alive, and is like, this is going to be a funny story to tell when I get back.
But they don't even name the driver.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So he doesn't want the word to get out, but if you're lucky enough, in England, you might be able to find this amazing Uber driver. And I hope it doesn't say you didn't even tip him.
No,
we don't know.
We don't know. All we know is he gave him 5 stars. Didn't take him back to Newcastle.
5 stars, long ride,
and the driver just did
Pretty
this
good.
for free. Oh, it's bananas.
Not a murderer. 5 stars.
Man, James could have been in trouble so many times during that ride. He was just asleep for 5 hours.
This driver he's incredible.
He's
a modern day saint.
He is a good man or woman, I guess. I think he said good man. One of the best people. I've never met him. One of the best people I've known.
Charge my children money for gas money when I take them to school.
For sure, why not?
It's like, hey, man, they
got to learn sometime.
That was a gallon of gas right there. You owe me money.
They got to learn.
And by the end of the week, they got to pay me.
Yeah, they got to learn sometime.
They do. Wow, that's crazy. All right, well,
nice guy.
That is nice. I'm going to tell you a story of not as nice.
Not as nice. Okay, good. I like those stories
15
too.
Minutes on the clock. Here we go. So it's also a crazy amount of money, right? Because we're talking how much was that?
$1,700.
$1,700.
Yeah.
Mine won't be as much as that.
Okay.
But this is about a woman. This was a few months back. She went to a Subway.
Okay.
To get 3 sandwiches.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're familiar with a sub sandwich, Chris?
Yeah, very. Yes.
You know, it's bread.
Very. Yep.
You know, usually some produce.
Some type of dressing.
With dressing, perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps a meat.
Most likely.
Yeah. And maybe a bag of chips on the side.
Yeah, sometimes.
Right, and then
something to drink, maybe.
Sometimes there's maybe like a rotten egg inside of it.
Nope.
Not your sandwiches, you've heard.
Nope.
Sometimes maybe like a bowl of cereal.
Nope.
Rat trap.
Over
maybe
3.
inside.
Over,
okay. Well, maybe we're thinking of different sandwiches.
Okay. Yeah. Not mine.
Okay, but this was a woman who went to Subway sandwich. She got 3 sandwiches, and she got the bill, and it came to $1,021.50.
That's worse than the Uber ride. At least with the Uber ride, you can get it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like you understand.
It made sense.
Yeah.
That cost reflected.
Yeah. No matter how, even if there's like gold flake on the sand, like none of that makes sense.
Yes.
You
And
know,
that's actually mentioned.
There's
that's
like
funny.
fancy restaurants that, you know, the Wagyu beef from this region is, you know, $1 million an ounce, like that kind of shit.
Right.
But,
And I don't think Subway sells those type of sandwiches.
No, they do not.
It says here, the article says, this far exceeds the typical price.
Oh, does it? Understatement of the podcast
of a foot-long sandwich, which tends to cost between $6.50 to $12.
There's no sandwich for $6.50 anymore, but
not even a 6-inch.
No,
at Subway.
No,
Subway's cheap. $5. They don't have the $5 footlongs anymore.
They got rid of those a long time ago.
Like back in the 80s.
No, not in the 80s, but a long time ago.
Oh man,
yeah, that's not a thing anymore.
Well, this wasn't that old. This article.
Yeah.
So this is
not $6.50.
This is like 2 months ago. If that.
Yeah, they're lying.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
No, well, you're right. They're $1,000 now for this stuff.
Exactly. Fucking minimum wage in California.
Well, it should have been. What should have been like maybe a $40 order,
right,
for 3 sandwiches. Sure. Was $1,021.50.
Oh God.
She was quite bewildered with the high charge.
Oh yeah, you think?
It left her feeling stressed and overwhelmed because she couldn't even afford groceries.
Or don't pay it. What do you mean?
Well, she had already, it was already charged.
Like she ordered online or something?
Hold
on. Even if it, hold on.
Okay.
Because
yeah.
no matter what the excuse is, before you push the button to say yes, you always see the price. So you go, no, I'm not hitting submit, even if it's online or whatever. No, it's not a thing. I mean, it's a thing, but
are you always looking at the price every time you go somewhere? I mean, because I would say when I go to the grocery store, I don't even necessarily see what the final price is before
grocery
I put my card in.
Grocery store. I know. I look. I always glance.
Gas station.
Always. I'm always looking up. Yeah, always.
Okay. I mean, there's times I'm saying in the grocery store, I'm not always maybe aware.
Yeah, maybe not. Like
sometimes, like afterwards, I'm like, why did I get charged? And then I'm like, I got double charged for the whatever. But
that happens for sure.
I think there's oversight that can happen.
But if you're walking in, I don't know if it says she is.
Okay.
Then if the people say it, okay, cool, $47.20, and you go, okay, put it in. But if they go, $1,200, you'll go, what? And then, so that's one scenario. Then you would definitely, because the other is if it's online and you're ordering online, you always are going
sure
before you hit.
This was in person.
Then there's no excuse.
What?
Okay, go.
I've bought food. I've gone to Chipotle or whatever. And I'm not necessarily knowing
they
what
don't say the number.
Look, sometimes it's just there and you pay.
I guess.
You don't think it could happen.
God,
are you going to blame the woman?
Yes.
You're going to blame the woman.
Yes, for sure.
Did you blame James for sleeping?
Well, yeah, he put the wrong address in. Of course, it's James's fault.
Though the driver could have said, "Hey, you sure?"
Well, that's the thing. The driver still accepted the fucking ride.
Wouldn't then the workers notice? Wow, that's really expensive for 3 subs.
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
for sure.
All right,
it's on multiple fronts.
There we go.
But the lady first.
So $1,000 sub sandwich. What? Because you have experience with sub sandwiches,
right?
Not Subway sandwiches.
No.
What is the most expensive sandwich?
We have a triple dip. It's turkey, roast beef, and pastrami. Okay. Like our large is like $18.75.
Wow, but prior to tax money going up,
yeah, it just went up $1, so it's still like
it was still a $17 sandwich
because it's essentially 3 sandwiches in one. So you have a large amount of meat and turkey.
What is this, Dagwood making a sandwich?
It is. So there's 3 portions of turkey, which is a large amount.
And how did Dagwood end up with Blondie?
I know, no way, never.
Come on, that's not possible.
Yeah, never.
Anyway,
so there's a large amount of turkey, three portions, which is a large sandwich worth.
Okay.
There's a regular size amount of roast beef, so
whatever that means.
2 portions.
Okay.
And then there's a regular size, like a regular sandwich size amount of pastrami. So there's 1 large and 2 regular sandwiches worth of meat in that one sandwich.
I would call you. Do you put like a sandwich over, do you like make a turducken?
No, we can't do that.
You should.
That's
you should
the
make
closest.
A sandwich.
That's the closest.
And you open up the sandwich, and there's another sandwich inside that sandwich.
Right. No, right. But
or like those Russian dolls, And
yeah, we don't.
Smaller sandwich inside.
That's the closest. But
that'd be cool.
But it's 1 large and 2 regular size sandwiches. Okay. So that so it's $18.50.
Well, look. All I know is that she paid it, and I think it was on a debit card.
That's crazy to me. Yeah.
And they said if she would have used a credit card, it could have been easier or something.
Okay.
Look.
That's not true, though.
She didn't realize.
Okay, that's fine.
And she already paid it. It's like, oh my God, wait a minute. When she got the receipt, like, wait, what? Mm. And the store said, we can't help you.
Well, that's bullshit, too.
They said, we can't help you. You need to contact corporate.
No, that's bullshit, too.
That's what they said.
Okay.
But here's maybe the reason why.
Okay.
This is a Subway that was inside of a gas station.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop you right there.
Okay.
Gas station restaurants.
Yeah.
The worst dining experience of your life.
It is, but at least it's a real restaurant. It's not just like the food inside of a gas. It's like a real restaurant inside.
Sure, I know, but it's not a real restaurant. It's not a real Subway.
Well,
no, it's a gas station Subway.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, the employees are half trained. They only have probably 3/4 of the menu.
Exactly,
and
it's probably cost more.
Yeah, so I get that,
like $1,000 more.
Yeah, so I get that part of it. But no matter what,
we stopped at a Subway and I thought it was a Subway, but it turned out to be a gas station Subway when
Yeah.
we were just coming back from Arizona.
Yeah.
And we waited for like 5 minutes. No one came. Like, we're done.
Yep.
I'm good. This isn't even a real Subway.
Yeah. You'll definitely see that more than if you were at a regular Subway. But no matter what,
They asked me as they're leaving, you want a pizza? I was like,
that's weird.
no.
That's a weird question to ask me at a Subway. But any establishment that takes money has a POS system, and if you have a POS system, you're able to pull up orders and give refunds. Like, they're able to give a refund.
You would think.
Yeah, the person working there just didn't want to or didn't know how to, but they can.
So
I apologize. Yeah. The last thing I would say is, like, I would have waited there for a manager, even if it's a gas station manager. Like, no, I'm not leaving. You can't tell me no. Call corporate. You can't, because then now you're more detached from the situation, because corporate doesn't know what's going on. Corporate has no ability to get into their system to give you a refund.
Well, that's where they're like, ma'am, we're just a gas station. We can't help you.
Right.
We're not a real Subway. We're a gas station Subway.
But that's not fair, because
call corporate.
Because I gave the money to you, right? So, like, your gas station makes money, right? So any money that comes in, you're telling me you don't get it? That's just not true. They get the money that people pay.
Look, we're gonna find out if this is sus or not.
Okay, but that makes sense, though, right?
No, of course it makes sense to make it. Of course it does.
Okay.
I get the logic.
They can give a
Chris.
refund. They can give a refund.
They said they couldn't.
They could give a refund.
So she tried calling corporate multiple times.
And they're like, what are you talking about?
Well, she couldn't get an answer.
Yeah, of course.
Couldn't get through.
That makes more sense to me. That's more fine to me.
So then she decided, I'm just going to go back to the store.
To burn it to the ground.
The end of the story. That's a nice twist. She said, I'm just going to go back to the Subway.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to get an answer.
Yeah, for sure.
And when she did, she found out that it was closed.
The whole thing?
The Subway's closed.
Like, forever?
It says temporarily, for unforeseen future.
Oh, my.
No. So, and they open up a small business in another state. No, that didn't happen. But I mean, so now,
no.
I'm just trying to make ends meet.
Yeah, no.
She flagged the issue to her bank, but they didn't seem to do anything about it either. They couldn't do anything about it.
This is a nightmare, dude.
Isn't it?
Because it could have been easily. So it sounds like, to me, if I'm getting, the connecting the dots here, it was basically the owner of the Subway knowing he was about to close and going, I don't give a fuck what you charge. I'm going to get out of here before you catch me. And so it's a fucking racketeering.
It's strange, right? So this went on for 7 weeks.
No way, dude. Nope.
Where she could not get her money back.
Yep.
For 3 sub sandwiches.
Yeah, no way.
That overcharged her
for $1,000.
Yeah. And like I said, and so it was closed. And so finally, she filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau.
For sure.
And in Connecticut, though, because that's where Subway's. So she's in Ohio.
Oh, but
she's in Ohio,
but the headquarters is in Connecticut.
So she went to the Subway's headquarters.
Yeah.
And then Subway put her in touch with the regional manager for this gas station, Thornton's. And so then the regional manager said that there was a portal online to arrange the refund, but they had never used it before.
Oh my god!
I don't know. It's supposed to do it.
Yeah.
It might be a portal that will allow Avengers to come in. We're not sure.
And by the way, then where was that the first time? Come on. Okay, that's why you don't leave. You're like, no, I'm not leaving here.
And so they said they would prefer to give her the cash in person.
I mean, if it's a debit card, I guess, right? Because ideally you just deposit it to the bank. To your bank, right? So it wouldn't be the first thing I would like, but at least I get it right away.
Saying, but she's just getting like, is this some sort of
like what's going on?
A storefront operation,
some money laundering situation, right?
Like, hey, we can't give you the refund.
Yeah.
Oh, and finally, after 7 weeks, okay, but we have to do it in person, cash only.
Yeah.
Come alone, come at night.
But I guess she's getting it back. Because there are times that I said, hey, I can definitely put the refund back on your card. It'll take a little bit. If you want, though, you can come in. I'll just give you your $20 back if they want it right away. But I'll give it an option at least. Yeah.
And so when she finally did get her refund, though, and they counted all this cash out in front of her.
That's crazy.
They said, don't hold up to the light, though.
Yeah.
Just trust us.
Don't put that marker on it.
But then she had a problem depositing the money at first because the funds were placed on hold.
Oh my god!
So she couldn't even access
the
money.
The gas station's funds. It's cash. How can cash be put on hold? What are you talking about? Cash cannot be put on hold. It's cash. That's why you get cash, because you have it. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. This is very strange.
That's the bank's fault. What do you mean? How can cash be put on hold?
Because it wasn't real. No, I don't know. And
that doesn't.
And then I couldn't find an update anymore. I was researching. I'm kind of.
Oh
so
my god!
It looks like it finally did go through. So, because I haven't found anything like she's still waiting. But this is what's crazy is that back in November.
Okay.
So
2023.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is like 4 months prior to this story.
Right.
There was a woman in Atlanta who was charged thousands of dollars at her local Subway after the store's card machine changed screens while she was trying to pay for it. So she completed her purchase.
Yeah.
And then the screen changed. Like, what? And then so she was charged $7,000.
Oh, it's a racket.
$112.
Yeah, it's a racket. It's those things, like you can put those like
98
card readers on like the ATM machines and stuff to fucking. That's on purpose. That's on purpose. There's no way that happens.
Well, I don't know. This is the number 4 supreme meat sandwich. So I don't know how much that goes for. Wait. $7.54. $7.
Oh, yeah, I gotcha.
But maybe she got the extra supreme.
Maybe.
For $7,112. But then she noticed, though, the number on the gratuity line matched several digits of her telephone number.
Yeah. So then you know what? Then that's user error.
So that's the woman's fault again, you're saying?
Yes.
No, but she said that she was doing it and the screen changed on her. And then,
but okay, then I believe her. She's saying that, but then the second she goes, oh wait, the tip line matches the last 5 digits of my telephone number. Then, ma'am, you put those numbers in.
So you're gonna blame the customer. The customer's always right, Chris.
In that scenario, yeah, for sure.
The store manager refused to talk to her.
Oh well, I mean, come on.
And so did the credit card company, because they're saying they're agreeing with you. You put the numbers in, ma'am.
Well, it's true. So the credit card company can say that, but the store knows she didn't mean to give them a $7,000 tip. You know what I mean? The store knows that. That's when you go, oh shit, okay. Well, I don't have $7,000 in cash to give you back, but they can work something out there because that store gets that money. So
so why do they want to give it up? Bank of America even sent a denial letter instead of helping her. And so she went public with the story.
Yeah.
And after she did, then Subway.
Sure.
Then they fixed it.
As they should have. Like, that store should have done that anyway.
But they waited for her to go public with it.
I know. Well, that's bullshit.
So this is my thing.
That one's her fault, though.
What is Subway?
Well, yeah, it's a money laundering scam.
It seems like it is. Because
So the first story legitimately sounds like money laundering. Like, it was like the owner of that Subway knowing he was closing and did that on purpose. The second one, she was typing in her phone number when she thought it was supposed to be her phone number, and it was the tip screen, and she typed in a big old tip. That was her fault.
Right, but you think they would be like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Like, would you not let them change that?
Oh, well, you can't, like, if she did it and hit submit and it went through, you can't change it. But of course I would go, obviously you didn't mean to give us a $7,000 tip.
Can't you cancel the purchase?
Yeah, you can cancel it for sure.
This seems so easy.
You can void it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
These things seem easy.
It is.
They shouldn't have to go to.
Yeah, every once in a
go
while.
public with these stories.
No, you shouldn't.
Justice for Subway customers.
I'll give you this. It was her fault. The amount she got charged was her fault, but it wasn't her fault the way they decided not to help her after the fact, right? Because there's maybe every once in a while like a little harder thing to do, but you can still do it, like refunds and so obviously that lady didn't mean to put that amount in. So
for
you go,
$7.54.
Yeah, you go, okay, I'm sorry. And then again, obviously I don't have $7,000 in cash here, so I can't just give that back to you. Like, sometimes a customer didn't mean to tip. It's so funny sometimes when our customers, like, it's like a $3 tip.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, I don't want to tip you. Like, they literally just say it. I'm like, oh. Then I just open the register and give them $3, right? Because that's easy.
Man. Yeah.
But when it's $7,000, you have to wait till that money's deposited into our account, then we can give it back to you.
Now I'm thinking of a great idea.
Yeah.
I could go and tip $10,000. Oh my God, I didn't mean to tip you $10,000.
Right.
Can you open your register, please?
And just give me 10,000? Yeah. So, but you got to do something like
no.
like
I'm also a barber.
like 300 because they have 300 in cash, and then you know.
Right, but it's a good. That'd be a good little scam right there too.
No, you can do something with that.
It's not robbery then.
For sure.
Okay. So any takeaways?
Okay. So takeaways. So again, we're always pretty similar with our stories. This is a money overcharging episode.
Yeah.
So be vigilant.
Okay.
Pay attention.
Yeah.
Just in life, head on a swivel. But also, this is be aware of your surroundings. How about that? Be aware of your surroundings.
Right. Don't sleep.
Be
car
aware of where you're going. Like check before you act. Be aware of your surroundings. That's the takeaway.
Okay. My takeaway is there's only one person that I know that probably would tip $7,000 on it for a sub sandwich, and that would be this Uber driver.
He would.
So yeah, if you're in England, find this Uber driver.
If you're in Newcastle, man,
you can take advantage of him
easily.
Get for free, but give him a 5-star rating, and then Subway. You probably want this guy to come and eat at your place because he'll be like, oh, that's fine
for sure.
You charge me $1,000.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That gas station's so weird. Irks me a little bit.
I almost feel like the Uber driver, even if James fell asleep, and they pulled up to James's actual house.
And saw the 5-hour trip?
No. Even just his real house, 15 minutes away. Let's say it was the real location.
Yeah.
He saw that James. He might just wait till he wakes up.
Oh, probably.
I don't want to wake him up.
Yeah.
I'll just let him.
Car.
I'll just, I'll keep the
car on.
I'll
keep the car because he's gonna be cold. So
yeah.
I'll keep the heat on.
I'll just wait till he's ready.
Oh, for sure he would have.
I don't want to wake him.